Hey guys, it's Meg and welcome back to my YouTube channel. As we're into February now, I just wanted to give you a little BUJO tour of my 2022 journal so you can see how it's looking so far. So this is my 2022 cover page, and for the start of the year I created some initial pages that are just in a very simple black and white monochrome theme using stars and little dots and stuff as the decoration. After the cover page I have created a future log. This is inspired by Amanda H. Lee, and I love the little Dutch door so that you can see the title whether you're on this page or this page, and that's really cool because it means I didn't have to draw out the title on both pages. So the future log, I've had a few questions on how to use it. Some people might use it differently, but I use it for a main events calendar. Obviously there's not something filled in on every page because I do tend to use it for just important events that I need to remember. So for example, birthdays or any trips or holidays, particular appointments. And you can see here I've got my 1 year on TikTok because that's an important date I wanted to have in there. And this is something I will also fill in as I go through the year. So I'm hoping to book a few holidays this year, and I will fill those in when I've booked them and I know what dates I'm away. I include all of my family members' birthdays, and although I know when they are, I don't really need to put them in as a reminder. It's useful to put the ages next to them because then I know exactly how old they're turning and what kind of cards and stuff I need to get. So the next page is my 2022 in pixels. This is used to track how the day went. So a lot of people have asked me whether you still need to do a mood tracker if you're going to include a year in pixels page. I think it kind of depends what you want to use it for. If you're using it to track your mood for the year, then maybe not, because it would be doing the same thing. However, I wanted to use it as a day tracker. And the reason behind this is because I wanted to be able to track the day itself and separate that from my mood, because I think for mental health it's really important that we're able to distinguish between something that has gone well, like objectively, compared with how we're feeling subjectively. So for example, emotionally wise and mood tracker wise, I could have had a really bad day in terms of I was feeling really anxious or really sad or something, but equally this allows me to still recognize whether something amazing actually happened and I was just emotionally not feeling well, or whether I was just having a really low day but I was actually really productive. So that is why I'm using both the year in pixels and a mood tracker for each month. And I can't wait to see how colourful this is when it's all filled in. I'm filming this video on the 1st of February, so as you can see the whole of January is now coloured in, and yeah, can't wait to see the colours by the end of the year. Then I've got my bookshelf, which, a little confession, I haven't actually read a single book this year, and I'm really disappointed with myself because it was one of my goals. However, it is the start of a new month. I am going to commit to you guys that I will have read at least one book by the time I film my March setup. So keep me accountable in the comments, and also let me know what you're reading or what is on your TBR at the moment. So the bookshelf, the way this works is I will write in the titles. I do actually have a whole stack of books that I need to be reading and I want to read. It's just getting around to it, but you write the titles in the books on the little shelves, and then I've got a rating here. So these are star ratings, so out of 5, so with 5 stars being the best obviously, and then I will colour in each book once I've read it with what rating I want to give it. And as much as I would really like to colour in the books now, I just thought this would be a good way to not just include it as a TBR page, but actually keep track of what I thought of the books as a mini book review page as well. So if you like either of these pages, you can actually buy them as a digital download. They're not very expensive. You can buy just the single sheet, so that will be linked down below if you would like to get yourself a little TBR bookshelf and keep on track with your reading, hopefully better than I am. Then I've got my goals page. You can watch me creating this if you would like. It was a really fun video and I gave a bit of an in-depth talk about why I've got each goal, so check that one out if you want to know a little bit more. But basically I split this page into personal, fitness, finance and content, just because they're the areas of my life that I want to work on basically. And again, some aren't going so well, but you know, it's only just February. I've had a month of kind of getting into the new year, just like everyone has. Sometimes our goals don't always go to plan, and that's okay. And I think it's good to do a review at the end of each month and just see where you're at, see if things are still a priority for you. And it's okay to change your goals and change your mind, but equally, if you set a goal because you really want to achieve it, then it's good to have a little reminder like, oh yeah, I need to keep working on that, because sometimes we just forget. So financially, I've got things going really well, and the iMac has now evolved into an iMac and an iPad, because I don't know, I went into Apple and got really tempted, so those are on my wish list, and watch this space for a video of unboxing those when I buy them, hopefully. I'm also doing well with my workouts and sticking to the weekly workout schedule that I've created for myself, and I'm really happy with my content at the moment. I did have a little break from YouTube, but I'm back on it and really loving it. Something I could improve on is doing more lives, so if you'd like to see some more lives on my YouTube, I've never done a live on YouTube before, but if you'd like to see that, then please do let me know. But mostly I do lives on TikTok. So head over there at meg_notes_ if you want to check those out. And then it's my personal goals, which tend to take a bit of a hit out of everything. Turning my technology off before midnight is definitely something I'm still not achieving, but we'll see how it goes. Then I've got my vision board. Again, that was created in the goals video, so if you'd like a bit more of an explanation on this and how to create one for yourself, then do check that out. But I love this. I love seeing it every time I flick through my journal. It's very aesthetic. It's got some of the places I want to travel, things I'd like to buy, and just a reminder of the life I want to be living. So definitely recommend having one of these in your journal, and it was also really fun to make, so 10 out of 10 for that one. Then this is my January setup. So this is my double page cover for January. I've got just the January title on this side, and this I've had a few questions on, like, what is it? It's just a calendar spread, so it's set up from Monday to Sunday, and it matches the calendar for January. So this, for example, was Monday the 31st, and because I don't tend to use a small calendar like this, I thought I could just include it and colour in each day as it goes by and use it to just track where we are in the month, rather than a calendar for planning this time. So I like to just experiment and see what I'm feeling for that month. But I just thought it would also add something quite cute to the cover page. Ties in really well with that space galaxy theme and adds a bit of colour. So then we've got my trackers. So we've got the mood tracker here. I love the little shapes, it ties perfectly with the theme. One thing I was thinking though was I could have used my colours in a better way so that it would be easier to look at the emotions that I've coloured in and see more easily the fluctuation, because I did just kind of do the colours randomly, whereas if I'd used it so that the happier emotions were lighter and the more sad emotions were darker, I would be able to see clearly and know what each colour means, whereas it was a bit random. So for example, this is the darkest colour and that's actually the middle emotion. So yeah, that's something I might choose to do for next time. Yeah, so that is something I would recommend maybe keeping in mind when you choose your colours for your mood tracker. But it doesn't really matter, it still looks really pretty when it's coloured in, but I'll try to remember that in future. Then on the right, I've got my sleep tracker. This is my kind of embarrassing moment, showing just how horrendous my sleep is. Like, look, 4 until 12. And yeah, this is just an area of my life that is not good. And I've been saying it for ages, but will I ever change? I don't know. Although I have recently listened to some podcasts and stuff about sleep and sleep hygiene, and I thought it was really interesting to learn that you're actually genetically predisposed to being either like a morning person or a night person. And that just kind of made me feel better, because I think there's a lot of stigma with people who stay up late and get up later than the typical day. So yeah, I'm obviously just a night person, and I've been that way since I was a baby. And although I would like to shift my bedtime forward a little bit, I come alive at night, so something to work on. But equally, I'm never going to be one of those people who goes to bed at 8 and gets up at 5. It's just not going to happen. So yeah. Then I'm onto my habit tracker. Again, I love the little dots. This looks so cute. Ties with the theme, the tiny little planets. Just really cute. I love seeing my spreads when they're filled in, because you can just see how perfectly the colours work. But I was tracking meditation, taking my vitamins, stretching, journaling, like my personal journal rather than journaling on TikTok, walks and workouts. And I did quite well throughout this month. It's my reading is the only habit that I didn't have on my tracker, and that's the one I've not done very well. So yeah, maybe that's something that I should consider. But similar to the calendar on the cover page, this little shape is set up to match the monthly calendar. So I think as long as you know what it's representing, then you don't necessarily need to include the numbers and stuff, because it is quite small. Having numbers in there would just make it look a little bit cluttered, I think. So that is the shape of those little boxes. Then we've got my one line a day, another one that I always get asked what I'm using this for, how do you use it. It's kind of like a gratitude log, but it doesn't have to just be something you were grateful for. It could just be a special event that happened that day that you want to remember, something good that happened, something you were feeling, something you were thinking, just literally anything that's on your mind when you come to write. So for example, on the 6th I wrote, so grateful for working from home with my dogs. So that's kind of a gratitude moment. But then on Saturday the 29th I wrote, seeing 7 little piglets, because I went to a farm and got to see some baby pigs. So it's not necessarily a gratitude moment, but just an event that I really enjoyed that I wanted to make a note of in my journal. So that's what I use that one for. Then it's my weekly spreads. So I like to keep my weekly spreads fairly basic. I just like space to do my daily to-do lists. That is what I like to use them for. I don't want it to have too much busyness going on. I like a bit of space to incorporate the designs that reflect the theme for the month, but other than that, it's just a space for me to make a to-do list, tick it off, and that is all I really need from my weekly spreads. But you'll notice that I do like to experiment as I go through my weekly spreads, changing up the style, like the format a little bit. So here I've got designs down the edges and space in the middle for the days of the week. Then here I've done the design down the middle and the days of the week on the outer edge. Then with this one I went with the vertical sections as opposed to horizontal. And whenever I'm creating these weekly spreads, I can never decide whether I want it to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or whether I do like I've done Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, considering this as one page, and then Thursday, Friday on the second page. So I don't know, let me know what you would do, and I think I change my mind every time I do it, so. And then on this one was a totally different design that I'd not actually tried before, and that was having the days alternate like this and just using the initial of the day. So M for Monday, T for Tuesday, etc. Sorry if I'm speaking quite quickly. I have had a coffee this morning and it's obviously getting to me, but hopefully that will help us speed through the video a little bit. But throughout my weekly spreads and my January pages, I did just stick to black pens and then the blue and kind of lilac-y purple as the only colours. And then on this last page I used my Tombow brush pen. I've got a pastel purpley blue kind of colour, which I just thought would fit so well, and I really like how it works with all the other colours, and I kind of wish I'd used it in the previous weekly spreads, but I'll know for future. I just find that sometimes I get into a habit of using certain pens and certain colours, and I forget I've actually got so many to choose from, so little reminder for myself to explore a little bit more and use some different pens. But also a quick note, I can make a video on this if people are interested, but I use the very classic bullet journal method, almost a simplified version of it, even though it is very simple to begin with. But I just use a simple bullet as a to-do or a task. I don't have different ones for events and stuff. I just use a bullet point for anything I need to get done or remember or do, and then I draw a line through it if it's complete, or if you can see here, if I don't get it done, I do the little arrow, which in bullet journal terms is called migration. So you migrate the event to the next day or another day, or it just kind of shows that you didn't get this done and you need to do it another day. So that is how I bullet journal. Then we are on to my February setup, which isn't filled in yet because I've just created it, but this is ready for the new month. If you would like to see me creating this, then check out the video in the top right of the screen. That is my February setup video. Yeah, this is the final result. So I've got my quote page on the left, which is a quote from Mamma Mia, and don't ask me why it was in my head, but it was, and it works perfectly. Then I've got my cover page, so the theme is like nature, outdoors, wilderness, camping, stargazing, all of that kind of adventure-y stuff. Because I didn't fancy doing a Valentine's theme, I just wanted to do kind of a love theme, but something I love to do. So that is the theme behind this, the reason why I chose this theme. And yeah, this is my mood tracker. I did the colour scheme. You know, I mentioned how I could have had the more sad emotions as darker and then goes to lighter for the happier emotions. I only thought of that literally just before I filmed this video, and I'd already coloured these in. So for next time, for March, I'll be doing that. But yeah, top tip, just always choose colours for your mood tracker tracker that go with the theme. It might be tempting to just use random colours or your favourite colours, but if you choose ones that match your theme, then when it's all coloured in, it just looks very cohesive on the page as a whole. And yeah, I just think that looks better once it's coloured in. But yeah, I love this little illustration here with the little washing line. It's so cute. And I just went with the simple stars for the mood tracker. Couldn't really think how I would make it work otherwise with this theme, so happy with how this turned out in the end. And then I've got my sleep tracker, which I didn't write all the numbers through the middle like I did in January, just because, to be honest, I couldn't be bothered. It took so long last time and I'm just not sure it was worth it. So see how this goes. Who knows, I might be going back to numbers through the middle next month, but we'll see. And this time I've added an energy bar inspired by Carrie Walker, so this I can track how energized I feel, I guess, depending on how much sleep I get. And we can then see whether there's any patterns. So for example, if I go to bed at a certain time or past a certain time, and am I particularly more tired the next day, that sort of thing. And then I also created my first weekly spread just so I'm ready for the first week and to give you an idea of the kind of weekly spreads you can create if you wanted to do this theme. So it's again one of my classic setups with the design down the middle and just the horizontal sections for my daily to-dos. But I also included a habit tracker rather than having it as an individual page this time, just because I want to experiment and try it out. And yeah, I'll see how I get on with it this month. But that is it. That is the bullet journal for 2022 so far. I really hope you've enjoyed having a little look through my journal and learning how I use each page. If you have any questions, then just drop them in the comments and I'm happy to answer them for you. Equally, if there's any videos you want to see, any themes you want to see, then do let me know. But if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified when I next upload. And thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.